Alright, we're with Hugh right now, and we're going to be talking about the UFC 118 pay-per-view and going over the roster and the paychecks that were given out that night for each fight and the competitors, looking at the payroll, and I'd like to get your reaction on some of the fighters' earnings. How much money do you think was given to, let's say, Damian Maia? Do you remember Damian Maia fighting?
I remember the name. I can't remember the fight that well.
Yeah. You know who Damian Maia is, right?
I think I'd know him if I saw him. Or
Yeah, he fought Anderson Silva.
right.
How much do you think he made for his fight at UFC 118 just recently?
I don't know. I guess he probably made 100,000.
No, he made 68,000.
68,000. Okay.
So he was kind of in the higher ups of everyone's pay. Right underneath him was Kenny Florian. How much do you think he made?
58,000.
65. So get this, Kenny Florian lost to Gray Maynard, but Gray Maynard only made 46,000. You think that's fair?
Basically, seems to me like the winner should get more of the money. When a person loses a fight, regardless if he is a better fighter, I think the salary should be reversed to go to the loser.
Well, you think maybe there should be a higher payout for the winner? Like, say the winner earns an additional amount that should be greater.
Well,
that's the way it works. Is that the winner earns an additional amount, but it's usually not enough.
The winner should come out with more money than the loser.
Usually, yeah.
And what they would set it on, that would probably depend on the box office. I think probably a certain percentage extra should be added to the winner. Say, I don't know, 20 more percent or somewhere in that neighborhood, whatever the gate would allow. But it should be all that way up over every fighter. From your top heavyweight all down to the lightest, they should get a certain percentage of their pay.
Well, the reason Florian made more is because Florian's kind of a long-term guy. He's been there a long time. He's very consistent with his wins. But I still think in that fight that Gray Maynard should have been paid more, don't you think? Not necessarily more than Florian.
Because he won the fight.
No, not necessarily more than Florian, but more than he was paid.
I think because he won the fight, he should, they should reverse salaries.
Yeah.
The winner should reap the best reward, and it's just only fair. I mean, you're watching the sport, and that your greatness in the sport is determined by your wins and who you fight. And if you win a fight, even though maybe it's a lucky punch or a lucky submission, you still win the fight, and you should get credit as the winner with a pay that's higher than the loser.
Yeah, but doesn't you think that has to do with who's been on contract longer and more consistent with their wins? Maybe that win will only show up in your paycheck next time you fight.
Well, if it's stipulated that a fighter should earn so much per fight, if that's in the contract, then it should be so that he earns that amount, and whatever is stipulated. But then if you have a person that comes in there, let's say he offered James Toomey 500,000, which we know he did, right?
Yeah.
Just to get in the fight. But he should say, okay, James, if you lose this fight, you pushed your way in here, and I'm giving you a big payout if you win. If you lose, you're going to get the underdog's payment. You're going to get the payment of the loser, and he's going to get your high pay. Plus,
maybe.
he's gonna. That's the fair way to do it, in my estimation.
Yeah. But I don't think you could get too many fighters to agree to that.
Well, I don't see why not. I mean, he came in there boasting and name calling and pushing and scratching his way to get the chance to fight.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, you know, he should have said, since we've given you the right and we've given you a big paycheck, you're still going to have to earn it. If you win, then you get the full amount. If not, you get the loser's draw.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, well, the way it worked was probably that because this was a one-time fight or flat rate, they just decided to give him the 500 because he's a big name, a big draw.
Yes, he's a big draw, but he's never earned the right. He's not under contract, and the company should have no allegiance to him. He's just trying to get in there. And okay, so that's the stipulation. Okay, we give you a chance. We're going to give you a high rate of pay, which you normally get if you win. If you don't win, then we don't have to stand under obligation. We're going to give the loser that amount.
Yeah, but I don't think he would have agreed to that, or his attorneys, or whatever.
Well, then he's not much of a fighter. Then he's going in there basically for the paycheck. To him, you know, he says, well, whether I win or whether I lose, I'm still going to get my $500,000. Now, if fighters have that in their head that they're going to get a big paycheck, there's no pressure on them really to get out there and work and perform that much.
There's
no
big motivation there.
No big motivation. You're taking away the motivation. Say, yeah, look, I talked my way in. I'm a big shot, and I humiliated them into giving me a title shot at this fight. And now that I got it, I can sit on my duff, and if I win or lose, I'll still make out like a bandit.
Do you think too many fighters rely on that type of pay, that flat rate, where regardless if they win or lose, they're going to get the same amount?
No, I don't. I think most of the fighters that go in there, they go in there because this is how they earn their bread and butter, and it takes a lot of money when you're fighting. You've got to pay your training camp. You've got to buy all kinds of materials in the camp while you're going for yourself and for the people that help you train. And so I think they're really serious. First of all, when they win, that makes them in a better position to gain another fight. And that's what, if they don't get fights frequently, they certainly wouldn't make any money. So that's one thing. I think they go in there, I think, seriously to win the fight.
What do you think about BJ Penn walking away with 150 compared to Frankie Edgar, who got 96?
No, that's wrong too. It should have been reversed the other way around. The winner should take the big purse. There's just no way. It's not right.
Yeah.
Even though it could have been a lucky punch, like I say, or just a happen chance submission, you still want to reward the winner as the winner, and he should get top prize.
Yeah. Okay, so let's think about how much Randy Couture made. He made $250. Now, regardless of what Tony made, forget about what he made for the moment, just for argument's sake. Do you think that's enough money to pay Randy for his performance, or do you think he deserves more?
Well, $250,000 is not a bad rate of pay. I mean, you know, Randy's fighting how many times a year? 2, 3 times?
2 or 3 a year.
Maybe 4, right?
I don't know about that.
So, Randy, that's not too bad a pay. However, it's ludicrous to take somebody who's a nobody, even though he has a reputation in boxing, he has not earned the right to be more highly paid than a professional person who's has a reputation and been fighting for years. Okay, let's say that Tooney is a bigger draw, and then again I say, in fairness, you know, it should be an understanding between him and Randy.
But do you think this was like an easy fight for Randy, and that's why he only earned the $250 instead of what he might usually earn, a higher paycheck?
It doesn't matter if the fight's easy for a fighter or not. It's by winning, because if they're good enough to win the fight by submission or whatever, then they have they're the legal winner and they deserve to receive top pay.